Right, back with you on the Newsfeed PM. Thanks for staying on. Over 500,000 cattle have been vaccinated to prevent the transmission and spread of foot and mouth disease in parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Authorities in the province have also placed contaminated dip tanks under movement restrictions. Areas include Amajuba, uMkhanyakude, Zululand, King Cetshwayo and the uMzinyathi district. These are all still being closely monitored. We are joined now by Thembeni Madlopha-Mthethwa, KZN MEC for Agriculture and Rural Development. MEC, good to have you and thank you very much for coming on this afternoon. Are you experiencing any new breakouts, especially outside of those areas designated?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. Yes, we are not currently experiencing any new developments in terms of foot and mouth diseases. And we are happy that in the 5 districts, because we included the district of uMzinyathi, so that we make sure that we also vaccinate animals from uMzinyathi, because it's very close to the borders of Zululand and the Amajuba. There are no new cases, but we're still monitoring the situation in those areas.
And currently, how many active cases of foot and mouth disease in livestock are you looking at in the province?
Currently, we're not having more than 10 cases. But we're monitoring those because we've already vaccinated every animal within the province.
Right. What's the necessary action that you have taken? Because earlier on in the year, maybe even sometime in April, the minister would have been reporting a persistence, but also an expanding contamination.
What we've done, we have vaccinated every animal, and also we have spoken to the cabinet, and then each and every MEC as well as the premier is speaking about this in these or community meetings, and we have robbed the police to partner with us so that when they see unlicensed animals, they check, and those people are reminded that we have a stop where we have said no one must take animal from one area to another if it's not vaccinated, if it is not an animal from a district that is not having the problem. But fortunately, in some of the areas they are now F and mouth disease free, like we have looked at Cetshwayo, then we have chased every animal there. Currently, we're saying we are clear, although we're saying because it is where it started, we're still not going to be allowing them to do it willy-nilly. We're still allowing them to allow cattle to move under very strict control. And then we are happy that the department, as well as the community stakeholders, the Makosi, and the farmers, they are now trying to obey whatever regulation we are giving them. And we're also planning to have an auction around Lund, so that the farmers are not going to be traveling long distances. They will be selling their animals closer to where they are, because sometimes we have observed that most of the time they were taking animals from Ulundi to Utrecht, to Ulundi to Vryheid, and we are suspecting that during those periods then they were also taking the disease from one area to another. But now we are sure that we will be making those attempts, like providing more auction sales, so that they don't suffer as farmers. They get people that are going to buy from them.
So the extra mechanism that was being explored, I suppose, of declaring a state of disaster within the province, you're saying that is no longer necessary?
No, it's still necessary, because I'm saying some places have been cleared, but we are saying we've vaccinated. We have not yet said the Amajuba is clear and all those districts. Then we still under the disaster declaration as per the national minister.
Yeah. Now, let's talk then about the vaccines. I mean, one of the challenge the minister would have cited earlier on was the timely delivery of vaccines to areas that need it. Has that been actioned adequately?
Yes, the department is in every dipping tanks. We are able to vaccinate animals that are coming to the dipping tanks. I've never received any complaints so far that the animals where we are vaccinating, they have run short of medication. No.
And when you are looking, therefore, at the spread of it, I mean, can you say that your efforts are beginning to contain this outbreak?
Yes, I can say that, but I cannot say that 100%, taking into consideration that we have said the disease is with the buffaloes. Buffaloes are having this disease. And if we are still having buffaloes nearer to where we have cattle, then at any time it can come up, because in the game reserves, like Cetshwayo Game Reserve, the animals there, some buffaloes,
Yeah,
have been identified as animal with the disease, and we cannot cure a buffalo from FMT.
yeah. So what action are you taking to ensure that that does not jeopardize your actions? Because there is a significant need, it seems, to enhance biosecurity, particularly when it comes to those areas where there could be exposure to buffaloes.
Until the national department and those that are responsible for the game reserve take action against the buffaloes, we will remain in the same problem, because we cannot control the private game reserve or whatever game reserve, but we are going to make sure that where we are, we make sure, because we have secured some medication, for more medication for those that are closer to game reserves. And we've also started to employ people that are going to be responsible for making sure that cattle are taken to the dipping tanks, giving medication, writing down the numbers of the animals that have been vaccinated or have been gone through the dipping process, so that we are sure as to whether closer to those game reserves animals are vaccinated or not.
MEC, we appreciate
That is the only thing we can do.
Right. We appreciate your time and thanks for coming on this afternoon. That is Thembeni Madlopha-Mthethwa, KZN, MEC for Agriculture and Rural Development, on the cases of foot and mouth disease and taking, as they say, the bull by the horn in tackling this crisis.